Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Men of Yoshiwara, Ohgiya, and we are in Chapter 7 of Gakuto's route, and we were just meeting up with Utsusemi and Ohgiya, I think, so that's where we are. On the day of our meetup, the rain stopped. It almost felt like it was predestined. As planned, I went to the Inari shrine by myself.
Oh, Miss Spacey.
Hey, Ohgiya and Utsusemi had arrived first. Thank you for meeting with me today. Nah, it's fine. But what did you need to talk about so desperately? You haven't told Gakuto about today, right? Of course not. Our lips were sealed on the matter. I was scared this one might spill the beans, though.
But I didn't slip.
Utsusemi smiled as he pointed to Ohgiya. Ohgiya, on the other hand, had a very stern expression on his face. I'm sorry for making you two go through all of this.
Don't be. I'll listen to Gakuto's special girl anytime she needs help.
It's not his voice, but I can't do it anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, please don't worry about it and talk to us.
Thank you so much, you two. I was right. Gakuto had to have been sincere when he interacted with these two. It just wasn't possible for Gakuto to just trust everyone. Seeing how honest and gentle Utsusemi and Ohgiya were proved that point. I hadn't told them anything yet, but my eyes were already getting wet. I pulled myself together. It's only natural that Gakuto hasn't told you two, but I want you to save him. What do you mean? Well, with a very brief, simplistic explanation, I told them that Gakuto had lost a friend, and he was now seeking revenge. Continuing, I told them that I didn't know what to do anymore.
Gakuto has been thinking of that this entire time?
I thought he'd been hiding something too, but not something like this. The two of them look away with grave expressions on their faces. I don't want Gakuto to become a criminal, but he told me that but he told me that his only reason for living is to get revenge on that woman. I don't know why I couldn't read that. I see. Gakuto is frightening on the outside, but deep down he's really caring. That's how I feel too. He's really a kind person. Sometimes he says some things to try to push you away, but in the end, he's always looking out for us, making sure we don't get into trouble. And that's why I'm sure he'd been really close to that old friend of his.
I don't want to see a high-profile courtesan like Gakuto arrested.
Yeah, me neither. In any case, I never knew that woman from the other day had that kind of past. Oh, did his thirst for revenge get stronger because she showed up again? Yes, but Gakuto had told me that he'd been thinking about the past ever since we'd met. It was the time when he'd been full of love and affection for others. Miss Spacey? Oh, sorry, it's nothing. Gakuto hadn't distanced himself from Utsusemi and Ohgiya. I could tell because they cared so much about it. Anyway, I don't know what the best solution is. If exacting his revenge will free him from the burden on his shoulders, then I don't have any right to stop him. But if he gets arrested, we'll never see him again. And then again, if they know it was for revenge, I'm sure they'll reduce his penalty. They'll reduce his penalty for revenge. Oh, it's revenge. For what? Just she stole my favorite pink blouse and never returned it. Oh, murder's accepted. I don't think that's how it works. Some time ago, the court was somewhat lenient on offenders who'd acted upon revenge. However, Miss Spacey, how do you feel about it? My feelings? I really don't know. I think maybe he should get revenge. I don't want him to be a criminal. Hello? We already said that. And oh my god, if my fucking neighbors downstairs will start slamming their fucking door repeatedly, I swear to fucking god. It's been like 7 times in the last like 30 seconds. Like, holy fucking shit. They are the fucking worst. But yes, I don't want him to become a criminal is the right one. I don't want him to become a criminal. I couldn't agree more.
But would he be convicted if he acted upon revenge?
Ohgiya asked us almost on the brink of tears. That was the one question all of us wanted the answer to. No matter what the reason might be, I can only think of murder as a sin. That thought had to be sealed away for now. In any case, what we really needed right now was time. Utsusemi, it's probably best to prevent any bloodshed from happening in Ohgiya. That's a good point. Is there any way you could convince that woman to go to a different brothel? I'll try to think something up and keep it a secret from Gakuto, of course. Thanks. Holy fucking shit. The fuck are they doing? It's like fucking irritating. Are you blowing shit up? Like, it sounds like, you know, like fireworks and just boom, 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 boom. That's all they're fucking doing. I swear to fucking God. Oh, God, I hate them with the passion of 1,000 fiery suns. I need to fucking move. They are just, like, the worst. Miss Spacey, thank you for telling us about all this. Huh? Honestly, I'm jealous of you. Even though I'm like a little brother to Gakuto, I had no idea. Utsusemi, you really are special to Gakuto. That can't be true. He never even told me he loved me. All I did was waltz into his life unannounced.
I want to thank you too. I mean, if I learned about it later, I would have felt so much regret.
Oh, I see. That's right. We need Gakuto to look at the present rather than the past. As long as we're by his side, I'm sure he'll realize how blessed he is. The three of us quickly parted ways, and I headed toward Ohgiya. I was escorted to where Gakuto was already waiting for me. Ohgiya has been quiet because of the long spell of rain, but it's about to liven up. Greeting me, Gakuto reached over to hug me. Something about his actions gave me a squeezing pain in my chest. Why, though? It felt so incredibly painful. Maybe we could play with fireworks again. It's not that easy getting permission to use the courtyard. Oh, really? Well, considering you're sort of like a guest of honor, it might be doable. I have mixed feelings about that. Well, as they say, money is the key that opens all doors. That's how the world works. It's only natural for rich people to have it better. And it's natural for the poor to suffer. Gakuto, what's wrong? Everything he was saying made it feel like someone other than Gakuto was talking. Reflexively, I surveyed his mood. What do you mean? You seem a little different than usual. Guilty face. He stayed silent. Holding me more tightly, Gakuto put his face on the top of my shoulder. Had something happened to him? I asked him, Are you alright, Gakuto? Did I do something to offend you? Are you alright, probably? Yes. Cool. Are you alright? I quietly asked him how he was doing. Yeah, everything's great. Gakuto whispered to me in an almost vanishing voice. After he was silent for a while, Even if it's raining, I want you to come and visit me. I can't go to you even if I want to. You're saying that as if you trying to say you don't want to. His tone made it feel like my heart was being crushed. Oh, what a haunting tone he had. His words sent shivers down my back. While you were away, it felt like I was dying as the loneliness ate at me. I felt so dirty. Dirty? Yeah, I kept thinking about how my heart had become black because of my obsession. But when I thought about you, it felt like I was human again. I may have really turned into a demon. No, that's not true at all. Well, like Iroha was an ogre and you're a demon. Okay, I mean, that could work. Supernaturals. Look, your warm hands are hugging me so affectionately. Then I'm a demon with a small amount of humanity left in me. No, you're wrong, Gakuto. Please don't put yourself down like that. I wrapped my arms around his wide back. His breath was warm as it grazed my skin. And yet, how could he say those things about himself? I didn't want him to go off to a faraway place. Gakuto, could you forget about your quest for revenge just for a little while? I can't do that. That would mean I'd let Yoshino down. I'd let Yoshino... Yeah, okay, no, I've read that right. But you don't even know if revenge is what he really wanted. Kakuto's body jolted as he let go of me. Our eyes locked, but mine wavered. I had to look away. Oh, sorry. But I'm sure he wouldn't want you to suffer like this. There isn't a person alive who can hear the voices of the dead. That's true, but it didn't matter if Gakuto fulfilled his revenge. I was sure he would suffer either way. There was no place for him to run. I've always thought about whether or not I should get revenge on her. But the more I think about it, the more I think exacting my revenge is inevitable. Even I don't know why I'm so obsessed over it. Why did he continuously go that far? Kakuto, does that mean your idea of revenge has changed? They're still slamming fucking a door. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, what are you doing? Why the fuck do you do this constantly? They'll do it too. And it's like, are you slamming every fucking door? Like, do you walk and do you have some kind of fucked up OCD where you have to, you close the door and you have to constantly open and slam it 400 fucking times? It's been like 10 fucking minutes of this. I hate them. Okay, Gakuto, I'm with you on revenge, because if I could go down and stab them and get away with murder because they were irritating me, I'd fucking do it. They're like literally driving to me the brink of going down there and stabbing them. That's how much I hate my downstairs neighbors. They're the fucking worst. This is not even the first time. They do this all the time. It's like you'll have days of quiet and you forget, and then all of a sudden, slam, 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 slam. How many times do you have to slam your fucking cabinets? How many times do you have to slam your fucking doors? Oh my fucking god, I'm gonna start doing jumping jacks. Fucking 2 o'clock in the morning in the fucking main bedroom. Swear to god. Oh my god. I can handle a quarantine. I can handle being locked up in my house. I cannot handle those motherfuckers being locked up. They need to go the fuck away. You know what? You need to be those crazy assholes who are leaving your house and just fucking getting coronavirus. Just fucking go. Just get sick and leave. Jesus. Oh, they'll be the ones that pass it on to some poor person and kill them. Swear to God, these people suck so much. If they disappeared off the face of the earth, I wouldn't be sad about it. I don't care if that makes me a horrible human being. I hate them so fucking much. Fucking hate them. Oh my god. Okay. Kakuto, doesn't that mean your idea of revenge has changed? You've been obsessed over this woman, chasing her. What are you getting at? I wasn't jealous in the least. At first I had felt something similar to jealousy because I thought she was his mistress. However, all I could feel now was something akin to defeat. There was no way I could win against someone that could stir Gakuto up this much. I didn't even stand a chance against her. I'm sure you have feelings for her. Huh? You're joking, right? No, I'm sure that's how it is. You just haven't realized it, that's all. I despise that woman. That's all it comes down to. But why have you held onto your grudge against her all this time? The people who killed your friend were the workers at Kiramise, right? Oh, right. I was like, really? Oh, right. Because they had beat him because he tried to run away or whatever, yeah. Yet, you're still chasing after that woman even though you've cut ties with that place. I just don't understand why you're so obsessed over her. Or you mad at her as like a stand-in for your mom, because your mom sold you, and then this woman betrayed your friend, and you're just angry at women in general. Well, that's a really great thing for a courtesan to be, just angry at women in general. Exacting my revenge against that woman is something I can't back down on, and that's my only reason for living. But it's your own life. You can choose how you want to live. Why don't you understand? I'm fucking trying. I could say the same to you. How do you think I feel being second to that woman? If things keep up like this, I'll have no choice but to leave you. It really sounds like we're actually married and not the fact that he's a courtesan and he has other women that visit him. We're not the only one. But yet we're acting like we're the only... I need the day in the life of Aroha so I fucking understand the logistics. Because it confuses me. I just wanted him to return to his senses instead of fixating on his quest for revenge. If luck was on my side, I wanted him to face me, even for just a little while. I wanted to let him hear the truth. Why would you threaten to leave me? It's because you're infatuated with another woman. I only want to avenge my friend. Still, the person occupying your every thought is that woman, right? If you want her so badly, why don't you lock her in a room and do as you please with her? My emotions welled up and I raised my voice as a result. I stood up in the heat of the moment. Wait, where are you going? Kakuto grabbed my arm, pulling me back. I'm going home because you seem preoccupied with other things. I'll never come here to bother you again. Oh. No, I'll never let you do that. It's my decision whether or not I want to come here and buy your time. Stop. He grabbed my arm with both of his hands as he looked at me with pleading eyes. I, singular, God. My heart banged loudly against my chest. I never thought Kakuto could make that expression. It was unimaginable seeing him so feeble like this. No, please don't go. Please don't throw me away. Don't leave me. See, right there, that's the crux of the issue. His mom threw him away, and then that woman basically threw his friend away. Well, she didn't she probably chickened out or got scared or got held up so she couldn't meet him. You know what I mean? And then he ended up dead. And then, like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe if he talks to her and he's like, you left him, she'd be like, oh my God, no, I got held up and I tried to go and he was gone and I regret it every day of my life. Like, you know what I mean? But I had to move on because he's gone. You know what I mean? Something, who knows? Anyway. If you're not here with me, all I can think about is getting revenge. Maybe if I'm such a distraction, you should be distracted by me. He sounded so weak that it was hard to believe Kakuto was saying those words. My chest squeezed painfully, and I couldn't breathe. You said you'd always stay by my side, hadn't you? Was that a lie? I knew it. Everyone just betrays me. I'll never betray you. I cut him off and grabbed his arms. My eyes quavered with fright. Yeah, as I stared straight at him. My heart shook along with the trembling shade of sorrow. I haven't betrayed you. I'm sorry for getting so emotional, and now we're apologizing to him. But I just wanted you to come back to your senses. If I could do that, I would have already. If you could do that, I wanted you to look at me more. I'm always looking at you, aren't I? It's hard to tell with the one eye. I'm just kidding. No, you're always thinking about your quest for revenge. You told me that all you could think about was that woman after she'd seen Utsusemi. And that's only for now. Just stay by my side. And then give me your sincerity. What? If you ever come to trust me, or anyone else for that matter, I want you to tell me how you really feel. I already knew. Even if he did have feelings for me, Kakuto would keep them hidden forever. He was too afraid to face his feelings because he thought betrayal was lying in wait. So, even if he loved me, he'd never say it out loud. Man, that would suck. Fine, Spacey. Kakuto held me tightly. I thought that things were becoming more dangerous. He looked so defeated. At this rate, his heart would be destroyed by his obsession over revenge. Kakuto, have you thought about how you wanted to get revenge on her? Don't think about revenge! So, like, were you gonna, like, stab her? Or, Spacey, stop bringing it up. Please tell me. I wanted to have her fall for Utsusemi and have him pretend to elope with her. I would then turn them into the director of the independent police. You would do that to Utsusemi? Why? The other day you'd said you didn't want Ohgiya and Utsusemi to know about this. Yeah? Could you really live with yourself after doing that to a dear friend? Kakuto... I don't know. I had to do something. Slap him. Otherwise, Kakuto would really do something he couldn't take back. Like, you're getting revenge on her is one thing, but hurting someone who loves you? You're now... Okay. Seriously? This is where you slap him in the face and be like, so you think people are going to betray you, and you don't like that, so what you're going to do is betray someone who trusts you. The fuck is wrong with you? I quickly left Yoshiwara that day in order to think about everything. Doting. That was the first time I'd seen Kakuto look so feeble. He was usually so conceited, strong, and brave. I couldn't believe it was him, the person who had a frightful strength deep inside of him. It had been so surreal. It was unimaginable. If things kept up like this, I knew Kakuto would destroy himself. As long as that woman continued to visit Ohgiya, I was sure Kakuto's heart would ache because of his quest for revenge. Apparently, he told Utsusemi not to let that woman go. Utsusemi would never give her the cold shoulder after agreeing to Kakuto's request. I asked Ohgiya and Utsusemi to spread a rumor confidentially. It was that Kakuto's strange behavior was due to him thinking about eloping with me. I was sure the staff at Ohgiya would watch him like a hawk. If that happened, he wouldn't be able to plan Utsusemi eloping with that woman. Honestly? No, damn it. Damn it. Damn it! I'll never betray you! I really need to tell Utsusemi not to be careful, because Gakuto's gonna set him up. But that would be betraying him, wouldn't it? Fuck! Man! Fucking backed ourselves into a corner on that one. I prayed that this would restrain his thirst for revenge. Push her out a window or something, she fell. I don't know, like, just don't set up your friend. God, you dick. One night, I went to Ohgiya to visit Gakuto, and Asagiri showed up in front of us.
Oh, you two. Can I talk with you for a moment?
Asagiri always had a gentle smile on his face, but today he was frowning sternly. Wow. What's wrong? Did something happen?
No, I was just wondering about a certain little rumor.
Uh-oh.
An elopement rumor.
Gakuto slightly reacted to Asagiri's statement.
A rumor has it you two are planning on eloping together. That would totally tie into the first game.
I really just want that so badly!
And neither the owner nor the brothel madam have gotten word of it, but it's best to be careful.
That's a completely baseless rumor.
I hope that's true.
Who would come up with something like that?
Either way, it looks like you haven't been doing well recently, Gakuto. Is there something on your mind?
I'm just not feeling well. Gakuto looked away and tried to throw Asagiri off.
I hope you find happiness, too.
Asagiri showed me a kind, yet hollow smile. It hurt me to have to trick someone like him. He really was great in his route, huh? However, I told myself that this was the only thing I could do right now. Only thing I could do right now, Jesus. Thank you, Asagiri. I bowed politely before heading to Gakuto's room. Looking over at Gakuto, the muscles on his back were as firm as steel. His face was pale, yet beautiful. Gakuto, Asagiri's right. You don't look so well. Have you been sleeping properly? The question had been weighing on my mind all night, but I waited until we were alone to ask it. His face was so pale, it looked like there wasn't a drop of blood running through his veins. Nevertheless, his eyes were radiating a strong light. Without saying a word, Gakuto slowly shook his head before embracing me. I remembered how arrogant and conceited Gakuto's smile had been when we first met. He had a pride that was entrancing. Then there was his gentle smile that he'd shown me when we played with fireworks. I missed those two different sides of him. In that moment, I felt more determined than ever. I would save Gakuto no matter what it took. Even if I had to play the part of the villain, it would only be temporary. I was going to stop his quest for revenge and save him. Gakuto, can I spend the night with you? You don't even need to ask. I have some great rice wine tonight, so let's indulge ourselves. Oh. Without waiting for my reply, Gakuto brought out a tray with the rice wine. I decided to say, let's just go to bed. But, okay, just a sip. Like, let's just go to bed. Let's just say that. I don't know if that's right, but okay, just a sip is right. Let's just go to bed is the totally wrong one. You know what? I'd fail his route so hard. I'd be the one getting pushed out the window, and there's not even a bad ending. This game would make up a bad ending just for me. I'm so terrible at this. Okay, just a sip. Great. Drink up. I thought, but would have been the worst, and it wasn't. I agreed with him because he was acting more like his usual self. Gakuto grinned in relief. I felt less anxious knowing that I made the correct decision. My eyes were fixated on Gakuto as he gulped down the wine. I thought back to the second time we'd met. That was the day we'd become betrothed. However, things were different now. I knew so much more than I had back then. You have nothing to worry about, so stop making that face. Gakuto suddenly looked straight into my eyes. The way he wildly wiped the wine from his lips hadn't changed at all. His expression was so sharp that it left me in renowned. What? All I need from you is for you to come and see me. I felt like he was talking to himself. Then, please rest a little bit when we're together. Yeah, I guess I could do that. Gakuto smirked, mocking himself. Soon after, the two of us lay down for bed. could still hear people walking around outside. I watched my beloved as he slept next to me and stroked his cheek. I was sure he hadn't been sleeping well these past few days. Hearing his systematic breathing calmed me down, yet made me sad. I continued to listen to him sleeping for a short while longer. Once I made sure he was asleep, I got out of bed. Stealthily, I made sure Gakuto didn't notice me. I was on a mission. Ohgiya was waiting for me outside, and I needed to speak with him. After leaving the room, I lowered my voice to talk with him.
Did it go all right?
Yes, he seemed exhausted, so he fell asleep right away.
Good to hear. I hope he goes back to being his normal self soon.
Ohgiya cast his eyes down as he blinked sorrowfully. Nevertheless, he quickly looked up and stared at me with a serious expression.
But it seems like everyone believes you two are planning on eloping.
A security asked us about it today, too. Huh?
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Has Utsusemi said anything?
It doesn't seem to be going well on his end. Apparently, Gakuto had demanded that he not let that woman go.
Oops. Oh.
But Utsusemi said that things are fine this way. If she goes off somewhere else, I'm sure Gakuto will search for her endlessly.
It did sound like something Gakuto would do. Considering his current mental state, I imagine he was capable of anything. The worst thing he could do was go to Utsusemi's room and deal with the woman himself. But I was sure he was capable of doing that. Alright, I'll try reasoning with Gakuto again. It's the only thing I can think of right now.
I feel so irritated being unable to do anything as well.
Ohgiya, could you keep watching Gakuto's room to make sure he doesn't do anything strange? If you're by his side, I'm sure you can prevent him from doing something crazy. I had to ask him because it was impossible for me to be by his side all day and night.
Okay, you got it. I guess there are things for me to do.
I'll be sure to do my best. Thank you. There were so many things going on that frustrated me. Unable to go to bed, I spent the whole night awake. Outside, I saw the sun slowly rising into the sky. Spacey. Gakuto held me as he started to wake up. Did you sleep well, Gakuto? Yeah. It was the first time in a while where I wasn't haunted by my dreams. I'm glad to hear that. I buried my face into his chest, taking a whiff of his musk. It was so heart-wrenching, and I felt so useless. Oh, how I wished we could simply hold each other without thinking about the complicated things. Gakuto, about that woman. I mean, it's because you keep bringing it up! His body jumped in surprise. I don't think it would be a good idea to go forward with your plan right now. Because of that rumor about us eloping? Yeah. Plus, if Utsusemi really does elope with her, I wouldn't be able to see you ever again. Why? If that type of incident happened here to Utsusemi, who's like a brother to you, my mother would insist that I go to a different brothel to find a man. There's no way I could ever go against my mother's wishes. I was tricking Gakuto. I was lying to him. That sent a pain through my chest, but it was the only way I could save him. And then what should I do? Calming himself, Gakuto painfully asked me what to do. You should temporarily forget about your quest for revenge. I'll look into that woman's background. So please don't use Utsusemi like a pawn in your game. Don't do anything hasty. For me. But Musashi is looking into it as we speak. You don't have to get your revenge right now. I'm just a little tired. And there's only one thing I need to do, and I don't need to wait to do it. But I want to keep seeing you. Gakuto was at a loss for words. After a short pause, he started to hug me once more. I hung onto his neck, and our cheeks touched one another's. The hot breath from his lips moistened my cheek before he kissed me. It was like his lips were searching for mine as they danced on my cheek. He slid his hand up my back, touching my hair before finally holding my head. At that moment, his lips seized mine. My chest hurt on reflex. Blood rushed through my body, making me hot. Don't go anywhere. I won't. So I couldn't speak properly because he wouldn't free my lips. His lips wrapped around mine, spoiling me. His hand started to wiggle as he held me. Why? Why did I know what he was thinking, even without hearing him say anything? His body was filled with a hot passion. I was somehow able to understand everything emanating from his body. I could feel his revenge, my hesitation, the heat, the lust, and everything else. Can I make love to you? I was on the brink of tears. He backed away for a moment, looking deep into my eyes. Both of us were engulfed with a moist, hot passion. Ew, a moist passion. Ugh. His ferocious, lascivious? Is that what it is? You don't use that word very often anyway. Gaze shot through my body. Lascivious? Is that what it is? Or I think. I don't know. Do you need to ask? I am your wife after all. I mean, asking is polite. Just taking is rude. Spacey. Kakuto's hand slipped into my somewhat disheveled kimono. His lewd hands crept across my bare skin. Lewd. I caught my breath during a small break as my body heated up. He hugged me close. I placed my hand on his kimono as well and ripped it off of him. Damn, girl! The morning sun shined upon his toned, sensual body. It was breathtaking yet heart-wrenching at the same time. You're different from any girl I've ever met. How so? If I knew that, I wouldn't need to worry so much. It looked like there was slightly more life in his face as he smiled. He hugged me tightly, squeezing me. That was why it would make me so happy to be your one and only lover. I made my request knowing full well how much it would trouble him. Sure enough, he looked distraught, but he was grinning slightly. Your skin is so pretty. The sunlight simply accentuates it. Is that how I'm different from other women? I wonder. Are you avoiding the question? I really don't know. You're just so... Kakuto? Oh. He cut me off halfway as his caresses became more powerful. The heat rising up in my body made my thoughts go numb. I held on to him tightly. He slid his hands in between my thighs and parted them powerfully. No, I'm scared. I mean, you should be after the last time. The moment I made my plea, he penetrated deep within me. I'm not moaning. He kept telling me that it would be all right as he pressed his lips against mine. Like you asked. He asked, can I make love to you? And you're like, do you need to ask? And then the second he goes to you, you're like, no, I'm scared. Pick a lane. Our naked bodies were glued together. As we became one, I felt so deeply connected to him. He pummeled his mind-numbing passion against me. That's what we're calling it? Okay. Jesus. They come up with more and more creative ways to say shit in these, and it never ceases to shock me. It was already midday with the sun high in the sky. Nevertheless, the two of us were making love. Suddenly... Takagawa, Jesus fucking Christ. Can you Rude! We're getting cock-blocked. By Takagawa. Didn't see that one coming. Kakuto, may I have a word with you? Takagawa. Kakuto and I looked at each other, confused with the arrival of our unexpected guest. He walks in and is like, oh, Jesus. We quickly dressed ourselves and let Takagawa in. Takagawa had a complicated expression on his face. What is it? Well, I was a little worried about a certain rumor. He's like, seriously? I was having sex. Could you have waited? This again. Again? Last night Asagiri talked to us because he was worried. Oh, I see. I guess everyone's worried about you. Be sure to talk to me before doing anything crazy. Yeah, sure. I see. But they do say where there's smoke, there's fire. The rumor has no foundation whatsoever. I would hope so. My chest hurt from the guilt of spreading that rumor. Takagawa... Thank you? Because he's being kind and he's like, talk to me before you do anything crazy. And you're like, thanks. Because you're going to look out for him now. I'm terribly sorry. Thank you was the second one. I'm so bad at this. I'm terribly sorry for making you worry. Please don't be. I was just worried because I owe Kakuto. Really? Back in the day, the other courtesans would get jealous of Oh, that's Kakuto saying that. I thought it was him. I was like, why is he talking about himself in the third person? Back in the day, the other courtesans would get jealous of Takagawa really easily. From time to time, I would stick up for him. His story just confirmed how gentle Kakuto really was. He's like trying, like, no, I'm just doing this for my own benefit. You're like, no, you're actually a marshmallow. In any case, just avoid any situations that can get you too cornered. Yeah, we will. Thank you, but please try not to worry about us. I enjoy working as a draper, so if I wanted to be with Kakuto, I would pay off his debt. You do have a long-standing family business. Seemingly convinced, Takagawa stood up. I'm glad it was just a rumor. Sorry for bothering you two. I made sure Takagawa left the room before breathing a sigh of relief. I'll walk you to the main gate. We're not done here. I guess we are. It was about time for me to leave. Cock-blocked and unsatisfied. Awesome. Well, I mean, if he's really, really, really good at his job, maybe it's like, you're unsatisfied, but I'm fine. I don't know. Oh, God. When we got closer to the main gate, Kakuto grabbed my shoulder. I stopped in place and stared at him. Will you come and see me again tonight? If that's what you want. I want to make love to you tonight as well. That way I can forget everything. Kakuto, you're the only thing that can calm me down. I can only be human again when we're together. This is like... I'm just saying, I know he's being truthful, but this is like the perfect thing to say. Like, I can only be human when you're around. I need you to stop me from wanting to kill people. Okay! And then you believe it and you're like, I just went broke because you're a lying ass. You lied to me! Ah, you're like a mobile game where you just want me to spend all my money and then I never... Ah! Just saying. Kakuto, it'll be fine. You're a kind and wonderful person. That's just how you see me. No, everyone in Ohgiya likes you for who you are. I think that's proof enough. You were the only one who doesn't realize it. Oh my god, those motherfuckers are still at it. They're still just slamming shit around. Like, what the fuck are they actually doing? Like fucking bowling on the fucking patio? Like, what the fuck? Then you'll be here tonight? There was a brief, like, 20-minute period where they shut the fuck up and now they're at it again. Yes, I'll come and see you. I did my best to smile gently as I slowly touched his cheek. He wrapped his hand around mine and brought his cheek close to mine, almost like an animal. He then politely kissed my hand. I'll be waiting. Okay. We exchanged a farewell kiss. However, when I started walking toward the main gate... Kakuto, may I have a word with you? Huh? You are the supervisor, right? A powerful-looking middle-aged woman spoke to Kakuto. Oh, it's a lady. Okay. Was she the independent police's supervisor? I recently heard a strange rumor about you, Kakuto, courtesan of Ohgiya. If you're talking about us eloping, that's just a rumor. Oh, is that so? You're the daughter from the Some Draper, correct? Yes. I heard you were up to suspicious activity, so I'll need to watch you closely. Huh, what a pain. I'm sure you have better things to do anyway. What did you just say? Do as you like. It has nothing to do with me anyway. Kakuto turned his back to the supervisor and combed my hair. Spacey, be careful walking home. But what about you? Don't worry. I haven't eloped or committed any crimes. Kakuto spoke loudly as he glanced over at the supervisor. Yeah, you're right. See you tonight. Yeah. We held hands one last time before slowly letting go of one another. See, this is the thing, too. Like, there's a rumor, and so I could see her being like, okay, I'm going to keep an eye on you guys, but... Yeah, oh, I'm going to totally believe it. You work for the police. You should be intelligent. And you should be smart enough to go, okay, I mean, like, look, we're going to be cautious and maybe, like, keep them in check. Don't make any assumptions. But also, no. I mean... She's rich. If she really wanted him, why the fuck wouldn't she? Maybe somebody should research, or is their family really in debt? If we were in Asagiri's route where the business was doing bad, they'd be like, all right, that's suspicious. But in this route, we're doing great. They'd be like, she could just pay off his debt. She's got the money. Like, what the fuck? I'm not saying they shouldn't be a little suspicious, just in case. Cautious. But, like, downright, like, we're gonna just throw you both in jail because we heard a rumor. Oh, for fuck's sake. Stop. We held hands one last time before slowly letting go of one another. Even though I was feeling reluctant, I slowly made my way out of Yoshiwara. Kakuto was getting in more trouble because of the rumor I'd made. I was filled with anxiety. Nevertheless, there was nothing I could do at the moment. Kakuto's disappearance. What? What the? As soon as I returned home, I asked Musashi to come to my room. After I made sure no one else was around, I turned to talk to him. Musashi, please lend me a hand. Oh, what's happened? Musashi noticed my unusual behavior and asked me in all seriousness. I gradually told Musashi everything. Desperately pleading, I asked him to look into that woman's past as well as watch over Kakuto. My word, this has gotten out of hand. Shh, you're talking too loudly. Oh, my apologies. I couldn't blame Musashi for being surprised. If it were possible, I didn't want Musashi to worry about me. Well, I may be able to look into that woman's past, but going to Ohgiya to watch Kakuto's movements doesn't seem very plausible. Yeah, you're right. Utsusemi and Ohgiya are there with him, so I think Kakuto will be okay. But then again... But, Miss Spacey, would you consider backing out? Musashi looked worried, but soon leaned toward me with determination. What I mean is, would you consider giving up on Kakuto and visiting a different courtesan? No, I have to be with him. Plus, I need to save him no matter what it takes. But if something were to happen, it'd be too late to regret your decision then. No matter what may come, I'll always stay by Kakuto's side. Miss, he's not a suitable mate for you. There are better people out there for you. No, there aren't, Musashi. I mean, we've seen all the other routes in this game and they were all perfectly suitable and great. I'm just saying, like... I love Kakuto because he's our beautiful Bond villain. But also, I'm thinking the other route, they might have been better, like, more suitable for us. I'm just saying. Like, we're getting close to the end. We're in chapter 9 now, is it? And we got one more chapter till the end, and I'm just not really sure how this is going to work, so I don't know. Why are you telling me this now of all times? Mother had been happy when she'd learned I'd picked Kakuto. And the situation is completely different now. If you somehow got involved with that woman and his revenge... Musashi's face was pale and his lips trembled. I could tell that he was truly worried about me. Even so, I couldn't back away from Kakuto. Musashi, are you disobeying me? Are you disobeying me? His face is like, fuck! He bit his lip as he bowed his head. My apologies, but I cannot comply with your thoughts this time. Musashi! I am terribly sorry. Please, give up on Kakuto. No! I'll never do that. Miss Spacey, if you won't help me, then I'll do it myself. Miss Spacey! Musashi seized my wrist. My heart almost jumped out of my chest. Secret Musashi route that we didn't know. His actions were so rude. I wanted to brush his hand off, but Musashi looked stern. I froze up, standing there. If anything were to happen to you, my life would be over. Musashi hung his head and slowly let go of my hand. You're just exaggerating. No, I'm not. I've lived my entire life devoted to you. He devoted his life entirely to me? I suddenly thought about how Kakuto was the same way. He only lived his life to exact his revenge. Thank you, Musashi. In that case, I'll set you free. No, that's not what I want. But if this keeps up, I'll just be causing you more trouble. I don't want you to worry about me. That's why I didn't tell you until today. But I'm scared because the independent police found out about my rumor. Miss Spacey. Still, I want to protect Kakuto, even if that means I have to commit a crime. Since you've watched over me all these years, you can understand that, right? Your life is so tragic. It only is tragic right now. No, it isn't tragic at all. I mean, Kakuto really cares for me, and I have a special place in his heart. A flood of hot, yet gentle emotions rose up inside of me. Was this how it felt to love someone? The urge to protect someone, wanting to save them. Was it this strong, passionate impulse filling me up? I understand, Miss Spacey. They're still banging all their fucking doors, by the way. I just want you to know that. I can still constantly hear it, and it's just, like, I swear to fucking God, I'm gonna start drinking. I don't know how helpful I'll be, but I shall do my best for you. I shall look into the matter the best of my abilities, but in return, please tell me everything that happens from now on. Okay, so, we were having sex— Not that! Poor Musashi. Watching you shoulder this burden all by yourself is something I do not wish for. Okay, sure. Thank you, Musashi. Musashi wasted no time in looking into things. Having an ally by my side felt so freeing. I wish things would change for the better because of this. A hopeful future is all I could wish for. I mean, Gakuto's disappearance is the title of this chapter, so here's another twist. Miss Spacey! Miss Spacey! While I was busily working in my family store, I was surprised to see a familiar face rush into the store. I figured it was a Geha. Yeah, I should have done a Geha's voice. I was like, Miss Spacey! Miss Spacey! I was like, it sounds like it's gonna be a Geha, but, you know. Miss Spacey! A Geha! What's wrong? Ohgiya was out of breath as he burst in, which gave me a bad feeling. Oh, Miss Spacey, there you are. What's going on? It's Kakuto. He's nowhere to be found. Everyone thinks he's run off to elope with you. What? Am I hearing you correctly? Kakuto was missing. Miss, are you alright? It felt like everything around me was going dark. All I could do was collapse, lament, pretend to be calm. Pretend to be calm. Pretend to be calm. I'm fine. I'm just feeling a little dizzy. I somehow stood back up as my body continued to stagger. Still worried about me, Musashi came close to me. I have to do something. Yes. Ohgiya, do you think Gakuto has run away? Yes, probably. We could figure out more if we went to Ohgiya. I was so confused, but at least I know he hasn't gone off to elope. Alright, I understand. Musashi, let's go to Ohgiya. I left the servants in charge of the shop, and the three of us quickly made our way to Yoshiwara. And I'd be like, we were never going to elope. I have money. I would buy him if I wanted to. Like, you have to be assured of that. Also, I'm here, so. As soon as we arrived at Ohgiya, the brothel owner and madam questioned us thoroughly. However, once they knew I hadn't eloped with Kakuto, we went off to talk to Utsusemi. I'm so sorry, Miss Spacey. Utsusemi bowed his head deeply as soon as he saw me. Don't be absurd. You have nothing to apologize for. But even though you'd warned us, we couldn't do anything in the end. You asked me to keep watch over him, yet I failed. It's alright, you two. What we need to do now is think about a way to solve this together. Why would Gakuto run off out of the blue like this? Well, Utsusemi reluctantly started to speak. Last night I gave that woman the cold shoulder. What? I didn't know what to do, but Gakuto ended up finding out. In the morning, Gakuto went missing, and everyone here was clamoring. I was standing in front of his door the entire time, but he still managed to get away. Utsusemi and Ohgiya cast their eyes down in shame, but I didn't know what to do. The only plausible conclusion was that Gakuto ran off to look for that woman. Gakuto was going to be off with that woman. Was going off to be with that woman. I prayed that he wouldn't do anything too hasty. I'm going to search for him. Huh? But do you know where he's going? Musashi, what have you found out about that woman? Apparently she's a peddler at some sort of fish market. It isn't an established store, so I couldn't find out much else. I see. Then let's go to the harbor. But that information may not be accurate. That's the only thing we can go on right now. I'm so sorry, Miss Spacey. Even during a crisis like this, we can't leave the district. If we could leave, I'd run around helping you search. Utsusemi, you've already done your best. Still, I'm sorry. Please stop apologizing. I just want to find Gakuto before it's too late. Let's go, Musashi. Yes, ma'am. Oh, Miss Spacey, be careful. With tears in his eyes, Ohgiya bowed to me. Thank you. If anything happens, I'll be sure to tell you. The rumor was spreading around Yoshiwara. Everyone had heard that Gakuto, the high-profile courtesan, had run off. That was the only thing people were talking about right now. Why? What would make him do this? His contract was almost over, too. Every comment from the passers-by stabbed my heart. Musashi and I made our way to the harbor, following an unreliable rumor. I could hear the seagulls' heartless cries from far away. Where should we even look? I very rarely came to the harbor. Anxiety filled my mind and I stopped in place. It seems they finished working for the day. And the people who work here have probably gone home already. Did you ask the people around here for information too? Yes, I came numerous times but was never able to get any solid information. Musashi showed me around. I didn't see any familiar faces among the people who passed us by. The woman's distinct appearance was still in my memory. Suddenly... Oh! I raised my voice without thinking. The woman in front of us looked over to us. Hello, I'm Spacey from the Somei Drapery store. Oh, why are you in a place like this? We met the woman we'd been looking for, even without any leads. I was flustered but tried to stay calm, starting a casual conversation. It didn't seem like Kakuto had met up with her yet. We're just here on a little business. Do you live around here, ma'am? Yes, I do. Puzzled, the woman looked over at Musashi and me. Well, goodbye. I didn't know what to do as the woman started to walk away. We've met at Ohgiya, haven't we? What's with you? Even I want to go to a nice brothel from time to time. Is there a law against fisherwomen like me saying we can't go to those kinds of places? No, that's not what I was getting at. Oh, and now I get it. You're Utsusemi's woman, aren't you? Not this time. That's why you threatened him to break our ties, right? Well, now you can relax. The tramp refused to see me last night. Don't call him a tramp. Why would he do that? It has nothing to do with you. A rich girl like you would never understand. I remembered a different woman I had seen some time ago. She'd been crying in front of Ohgiya, screaming Gakuto's name. Musashi had told me that she probably had no money to see him. Then, that means you weren't involved with Gakuto at Ohgiya, right? He hasn't come to see you, right? We were getting nowhere, so I interjected with my question. The woman's face went pale. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know that man. Hey, wait! Miss Spacey. The woman ran off as soon as she screamed. I ran after her without hesitating. I'll catch up to her first. Okay. Musashi ran past me after the woman. I was trying my hardest to keep up with the two of them. However... I felt a heavy shock on the back of my head. Losing my balance, I fell to the ground. In front of me, Musashi ran off without noticing my dismay. Everything was turning white and hazy. Don't get so full of yourself, princess. The woman's detestable words were the last things I heard. I fell unconscious. What the fuck is happening? I heard the waves and bird cries off in the distance. Were they seagulls? The wind that grazed my cheek, it felt like the sea breeze. I slowly regained consciousness as I thought to myself. Without delay, I suddenly opened my eyes. A sharp pain ran through the back of my head. I was right. Something hit me, making me lose consciousness. If we're in the exact same spot, Musashi would have turned around and found us. Oh, you're up, princess. You, why are you doing this? Gakuto's coming to see me, isn't he? I'm scared. If things turn for the worst, I'll use you as a hostage. You're despicable. My hands and feet were tied up as I lay on the ground on a peninsula. So she ran. Musashi ran, and she must have turned a corner and ran back. Damn, she's fucking slick. I couldn't move like this. I gave that bodyguard of yours the slip, so things worked out in my favor. I guess I still have it in me. The woman looked frightened, as if she was pretending to be strong. I could tell because her fingers were trembling. What was I going to do? If Kakuto showed up and saw what was going on, it would only make him angrier. If you take me hostage, you'll be committing a crime. It's better than being killed. Please, don't bring more grief to Kakuto. Excuse me? At that moment... Exactly. How far will you go to anger me until you're satisfied? Kakuto appeared in the flesh. Was it really him? That thought crossed my mind as I lay there dumbfounded. Nevertheless, Gakuto was slowly coming towards us. He glared at the woman with an intense anger, like a beast stalking its prey. Even though he wasn't after me, his glare made me freeze up in fear. On that day, why had you betrayed him? Why did you do that to Yoshino? I didn't think he was serious about it. As Gakuto waltzed closer, the woman slowly backed away. You'd promised him, hadn't you? Gakuto's voice shook from the sadness and anger shooting up in his chest. There was nothing I could do. I simply watched as he launched his fury at the woman. All I wanted was to stop him, but no words I could think of would do the trick. What could I do to stop his dark intentions? Answer me! Why did you leave Yoshino to die? Oh! The woman's body shook violently. I realized that the woman was driven to the edge of the cliff. Oh dear God. As soon as she gasped in surprise, ah! It happened in an instant. The woman lost her balance. It looked like she was falling into a dark abyss as she fell into the ocean. Really? Oh my God. We're murderers. On reflex, Gakuto reached out to save her, but he couldn't catch her. He just stood there silently. After the woman's screams died and the sound of the sea engulfed her, all we could hear were the sounds from the waves. Why did it turn out like this? Like, I'm asking myself the same question. It took some time, but I feebly got the words out. Gakuto looked over at me, having been brought back to reality. He silently walked over to me and started to untie the ropes around my hands and feet. I'm sorry for making you go through such a terrifying experience. I could tell his hands were shaking, like he's angry, but I don't think he actually wanted to kill her. Like, you're so mad! Like, I'm so mad at my fucking downstairs neighbors, I want to kill them, but it's not like I'm actually gonna do it. Like, holy shit. I'm not that crazy. In my head, just imagining just, like, punching them in the throat would be nice. I wouldn't actually do that either, you know? I could tell his hands were shaking. As soon as he got the ropes off of me, I hug him? Not hold his hand. I'd go straight up and hug him. Hug him is right, bam. Gakuto. Overcome with emotion, I hugged Gakuto. Spacey. He hugged me back. I dearly missed his touch. We firmly hugged one another. It felt like an eternity since we last saw one another. His arms were so strong. His grip so powerful. I never thought you'd have to get involved with this entire affair. I'm fine, but this is so tragic. Please don't worry. I'll tell the authorities what happened. I'll prove to them that you didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, just understand this one thing. Gakuto? After spending so much time with you, I had a change of heart. I wanted to bring that woman to Yoshino's grave and make her apologize to him. And that's all I wanted to do, but when she suddenly disappeared, I was scared beyond belief. So, that's what happened. I mean, she did literally yeet herself off a cliff. It's not like he pushed her. He intimidated her off the cliff. I mean, look, if you're standing on the edge of a cliff, you don't keep backing up. I mean, unless you're going to literally jump on purpose or let the person push you. Those are your options, not accidentally fall off it. So I'm just saying. Still, it's a little traumatizing what we just witnessed. Yeah, I'm sorry, Spacey. Please forgive me. You haven't wronged me in any way. I promised I would stay by your side no matter what happened. Plus, if I say that you scared me, you might throw me off the cliff. I'm just kidding. Even something like this. Of course. Spacey. He embraced me tightly once more. He squeezed me so tightly that it almost felt like I couldn't breathe. I could sense his feelings from his strong actions. In that moment, I didn't mind the pain because I loved him. Miss Spacey! I could hear Musashi's voice from out in the distance. He'd probably been looking for me this entire time. I knew that everything wasn't over yet. As I looked up at Gakuto, he looked heroic, as if the demon inside of him had been vanquished. I mean, kinda. He yeeted her off a cliff. He was back to being the high-profile courtesan, famous throughout Yoshiwara. Everyone in Yoshiwara was clamoring about his escape. The tragic story of his revenge was what everyone was talking about, but Gakuto was arrested for running away. There was a rumor going around that Gakuto was pardoned for his crime and only had to pay a fine. Throughout the entire process, I frequently went to visit Gakuto. Okay, so, a flurry of falling cherry blossoms. So he had to pay a fine for running away? I mean, yeah. That makes sense. That's what I'm just, but not for pushing the woman off a cliff. I mean, he didn't really push her off a cliff. She backed herself off a cliff, but still, she wouldn't have yeeted herself off a cliff if she didn't think you were going to kill her. So, like, I mean, and like, if there were two people just standing there having a nice conversation and you were like, I'm going to make you look guilty and jump off a cliff. They fell! They jumped! Bullshit, they jumped. You would look guilty, you know what I'm saying? Even though there's witnesses, they'd be like, but you were dicking him, so, like, of course you're gonna, and you're her, like, servant, of course you're gonna defend her, you know what I mean? Like, it just wouldn't look good for him is all I'm saying, so. I don't know, but he paid a fine. So anyway, we will finish up Gakuto's route in the next part, because chapter 10 is our last chapter, and then we have our happy ending, so we should be getting our, super happy ending in the next part, so. I will see you guys next time. I have to click because I can't save. Okay, anyway. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.